A high school wrestling coach in Washington was caught mocking the death of George Floyd in a post on Facebook. Now, local news station KOMO reported that wrestling coach Dave Hollenbeck had posted a picture, and that's the picture right there, of him smiling and giving a thumbs up while another person was putting a knee in the back of their neck. Now, Hollenbeck says, well, that proved that Floyd couldn't have died from, having the officer keep his knee on the back of his neck. Even though, of course, at the time, Floyd was pleading with the officer saying, I can't breathe. It really, really hurts. I need something to drink. Like all this stuff, right? Well, he said on Facebook, not dead yet. I'm doing this for our police officers. The media is a race baiting machine. And I'm tired of it. I'm going to speak out every time. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. But I love all people. Wake up, America. I love all people. Especially, and that's why I'm defending the cops who had killed someone. Because I love all people. All people. I see what you did there, though, right? Hey, you should tell George Floyd that knees to the neck are not fatal, right? Oh, right, you can't. You can't actually do that because he's dead. Now, look, the video, and I've showed this before, clearly showed Floyd passing out as he's on the ground with that knee to the back of the neck. A lot of you are saying that actually looks like an arm. So, I don't know. He said, look, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And maybe when somebody says that and you're applying pressure to a pressure point or some point at the back of somebody's neck, or you're got them in a legal chokehold or something like that, well, maybe you should believe them when they can't breathe. I'm just saying. It's not as if he wasn't already handcuffed and restrained by literally 3 other officers. What did you expect? You think he's going to hulk out and take out all of you? Are you serious? And by the way, this is for a non-violent crime. And he wasn't resisting arrest. He hadn't resisted. By now, I'm pretty sure we've all seen that video. But no, knee in the neck. And this guy has the audacity, of course, to mock somebody who is now needlessly dead. The fact that he's dead kind of proves your point, or disproves your point, right? It proves our point that, hey, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe that's too much force. Like, it's unreasonable amounts of force. I mean, now when contacted by KOMO, Hollenbeck did apologize, but get a load of this. This is a apology, non-apology, right? He said, I'm not racist, man. Really? Okay. I don't have that in me. My children don't have that in them. Nobody's talking about your kids, dude. Seriously. I didn't instill that in them. I'm sorry that I offended anybody. That was not my point. I was just trying to show something. No, you were showing people stuff. All right. Yeah, you were showing some ignorance right there. And besides, nobody even accused him of racism. It's just really, really bad taste. Why jump to that defense? It's kind of odd. No, the thing that people were mad about is that you're out here defending police brutality and overuse of force. That's the problem. Excessive force, man. I mean, seriously. That's the big issue. That's the big issue. There was no reason to put that excessive amount of force onto that man's neck. For no reason. For, again, alleged non-violent crime. Forgery. It's forgery, right? Can you imagine them doing that to a 120-pound white girl? Knee on your neck. No, they would never do that. The world would be outraged just like they are now. I mean, it's insane. But no, this guy, he goes on, by the way, to claim that he's qualified to determine Floyd's cause of death because he's a wrestling coach. He says, I have a specialty in fighting on the ground, and I know that just putting your knee on the back, to me, I would say that's not going to lead to death, but it just did. Before adding, now, did he have any underlying issues? Maybe. Hey, look, when you're wrestling, right, you got to be careful not to seriously injure your opponent. Like, the point is to win by getting them in a specific hold or get them to submit, right? Well, you have to be trained to do it correctly, or you could cause specific injury, right? And even if you know everything, you can still injure your opponent. So that's a good chance, by the way, or a good, possibility that that's what happened to Mr. Floyd. That maybe even if they can do a knee to the neck and do it safely, which I don't think that there's a way to do it, but I'm not an expert. Maybe there's a situation that either he maybe did it to the wrong place, maybe, which I wouldn't think doing it to the neck at all is a good place at all, especially considering the fact that he's already restrained. I mean, I don't know, but something happened here, and something caused the death of Mr. Floyd. And it just happened to be after he had passed out from having a knee to the back of his neck. I mean, it's really kind of simple when you look at it. Are you really going to argue? Say, no, that wasn't it. It's not the cop's fault at all. It was his fault. It's a way of blaming the victim in a way. Like, hey, he had probably some other condition or something. It's not the cop's fault. He didn't do it. He didn't do anything. Really? Really? I mean, look. The guy was saying, I can't breathe. You think that if Chauvin was worried about this, he would have taken the knee off his neck and said, oh, okay, yeah, I hear you. I've got you already. So you're restrained properly, all that stuff. So you're not a danger to me. So I can take this off your neck. Well, he didn't. This is indefensible. Even the Minneapolis PD thought that it was so egregiously over the top that they fired all the officers. And now the mayor is even calling for these officers to be brought up on charges. I don't know what the hell that you were thinking when you were trying to prove your point. To me, it sounds like some bootlicking. Like police bootlicking. That's what this is. Anything to to place the blame directly on the victim. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's blaming the victim and letting these cops get a free pass. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.